but we've developed this partnership with the Aberdeen Health and Social Care Partnership, and through that we've been, over the last 4 years now, been running these Mindfulness Mondays every last Monday of the month. We stopped for a while last year, but then picked it up on Zoom later in the year. And also some short courses. There's a course currently running, and there's 1 or 2 people on your screens today who are involved in that short course. And we also do a Wednesday morning meditation practice. That's called the Practice Support Group. And we do that on a Wednesday morning. So those who join on Mindfulness Monday, who decide they want to continue with learning some of the practice of mindfulness meditation, quite often join us on a course, or they join us on the Wednesday morning meditation practice. The centre doesn't charge for anything. So everything that's done is on a voluntary basis. We are a Scottish charity, and so of course we rely on individual voluntary donations, both given at the centre when we're open, and of course online when we're online. But Mindfulness Monday, our courses, our Wednesday morning practice, things that Ajahn does online nationally and internationally, they're all free of charge. So it normally falls to me on Mindfulness Mondays to say a few words of reflection. My training with Ajahn means that I'm able to run some of these courses, and I think he also probably thinks I'm perhaps reflective enough to make a few reflective comments about mindfulness meditation, what it is and what it isn't. And some of you will have heard me say this before, so it's a sort of refresher for us all, but perhaps with a little twist. Mindfulness meditation, of course, is simply about, so far as we can, living our lives in each and every moment. We tend to spend a lot of time regurgitating the past, what might have been, what we hope would have been, what didn't work, what went wrong, what went right, wishing we had this, wishing we had that. And so going over and over again in this busy mind of ours, which is busy, busy, busy all the time. And I often say, imagine if we went walking around Aberdeen with a loudspeaker on our heads and everyone could hear what we were thinking, the thoughts that were going on in our head all the time. How embarrassed would we be? And so mindfulness is about calming those thoughts, letting go of the thoughts that we can't do anything about, even if they're hurtful, things that have caused us pain and suffering in the past. It's gone. We can't do anything about it. We can learn from it. We can learn the cause of effect. Why were things so painful for us emotionally in our heads? Reflect on why it was painful and not make those same mistakes again. And the future, we spend so long planning the future. Now, there's nothing wrong with planning the future as long as we don't get too attached to it. If we get attached to our plans of the future, you know and I know that plans go wrong. And that's when we start to think, I wish it was like this. I wish it was like that. I want this, I want that, and so on and so forth. So mindfulness meditation is about calming that busy mind. We sometimes call it the monkey mind. We should sometimes call it the wild horse mind, or the puppy dog mind, whatever analogy you like, this mind jumps about all over the place. And the practice of mindfulness meditation, to begin with, is simply to calm that wild horse mind that jumps about all over the place. And of course, we all know that during this last 13 months, our monkey mind, our wild horse mind, has been jumping all over the place, hasn't it, with the lockdown? Wishing it wasn't like this, wishing it wasn't like that, wanting it to be like this, wanting it to be like that. And if we've learned anything at all, I think, in the last 13 months, it's probably that what we value are not the material things we wish for, the material things that we get attached to. And one of the things I've certainly learned is that technology should be there to serve us. And isn't it right that so often we feel that we're serving the technology? A friend of mine the other day said she'd spent 2 hours on the computer trying to renew her car insurance. Now that's 2 hours out of our precious life. You know, if you take a day, we have 24 hours, precious hours, to do useful and helpful things in our lives. And she was saying to me, you know, 8 hours to sleep. If you're working, 8 hours working. And then out of the other 8 hours, she spent 2 hours trying to renew her insurance online with no telephone number to do it in an alternative way. And so I think one of the things the lockdown has taught us, and I hope a lot of people are reflecting on this, how can I use this technology in a more helpful way rather than the unhelpful ways sometimes we feel it feels like. And of course, it's been very helpful in the lockdown because many have been able to order food online and get it delivered to the door, and that's incredibly helpful. But how many times do we sit at the end of a website trying to do this, trying to do that, and we find it so difficult to do? Or we're on a call line and we're sitting there 3/4 of an hour later. So this has got me reflecting that really what we have learned, I think, from the lockdown is the importance of simplifying our lives and having gratitude for the simple things. Does anyone watch a program on television called Ben Fogle, Living in the Wild? No? No hands up? No? Okay. I highly recommend this. Ben Fogle, Living in the Wild. This is about people who have decided to live off grid. They've got fed up with the world we live in and how complicated it is. And he's been to places around the world, including Scotland, England, Wales, and Ireland, visiting people who have chosen to live off grid or live a much more simplified life. And it's very instructive. Everyone he meets says things like, the value of food is when you grow your own food. The value of foraging is when you find food in the wild that we walk past every day that we didn't know we could eat. The value of having a visitor, an unexpected visitor, or a member of the family and you can have a hug. The value of hot water. Imagine what it's like if we don't have hot water, or a toilet, for example. And so it seems to me that the lockdown, which is coming to an end this year, I'm sure, has taught us so much about the value of things we take for granted. And my wish is that we don't take those things for granted anymore. When we have a hug, we have a real hug. When we meet someone who's a friend, meet them as a true friend. Be mindful of nature. Enjoy the spring. But enjoy the spring not necessarily by running out to the pub, but enjoy the spring by a walk in the countryside, admiring the animals and the birds and the trees and so on and so forth. So mindfulness meditation is about being mindful in every moment, knowing what we're doing, knowing what's going on around us when it's happening. And so often, of course, we don't do that because of this monkey mind. So the first part of mindfulness meditation, going back to where I started, is to calm the monkey mind. And this is where Ajahn now will talk to us and lead us in a practice of mindfulness meditation. And for those of you who are new to this, starting to calm that monkey mind that drives us crazy sometimes, day in, day out, week in, week out. And with that, Ajahn, I think I better zip up and pass back to you and let you lead the next hour and a quarter.
Okay. So thank you very much, David, for the wonderful reflection and information. First of all, I would like to welcome Francis Hume from Interfaith Scotland. So thank you. It makes me a little bit nervous. So this morning I was, we were having a lunch, just before this event, and I was telling to the monks that I now very confused that which class is what. I'm doing so many classes that it's very difficult to track. Even this today, like a 6 o'clock teaching, and then 8:30 to 11 o'clock teaching, and then here. So again, and it will be in the evening again. So, and yesterday was like a full, I had only half an hour or 1 hour breaks in between. So it was like from 6 o'clock till like 9 o'clock evening. So yesterday. And normally weekends are like that to the monks here. So anyway, right. So first of all, welcome to all the new members who joined here. And if you have any questions and during our open time, you can ask questions or any concerns or any ideas you want to have it on a meditation, then you can ask, okay? I'm just adding from what David has said, that mindfulness meditation is a skill, okay? One we have to develop, and it's a practice that makes perfect. Without a practice, doesn't make any difference. Just like a menu card that I normally give you a simile. Just reading a menu will not get the food, and we will not have a chance to eat that food. Yeah. So it's a cultivation is a process which unfolds and also deepens over the time. Yeah? So it deepens over the time as we practice. Like when we start meditating, at first, even to watch the breath becomes so difficult. Yeah? And I still remember in a health village a few years ago when I asked, "Do you know where is the breath?" They even can't pinpoint where is the breath, what is the breath, what are you talking about? Yeah? So like that. And as we develop, gradually we got the guidance, and then we try to pay attention to the breath, and immediately you realize, whoa, what happened here? Why I can't pay attention to my breath? Why my mind is all around? It's wild mind. Yeah? It just goes off. And then there was also concern that, oh, mindfulness meditation is a Buddhist thing. I shouldn't be meditating. No, I shouldn't be here like that. So this is also misconceptions. Okay, so we have to remember that mindfulness meditation is not about religion. Although yes, Buddhism teaches more, maybe 90 or 99% about meditation. It's about practice, cultivation, and understanding the Buddhist teachings. You know, in order to understand the Buddhist teachings, you have to meditate. Otherwise, it's just a philosophy, doesn't make sense. So that's why it is embedded in Buddhism, but it is not about a religion. It is just a method to train your mind. As David said, our mind is basically like a monkey jumping all around. Even you are sitting here, you're thinking, okay, today I have a Mindfulness Monday, I'm going to meditate. Your mind probably thinking, oh, I haven't done this. Oh, I haven't done that. Oh, I better make a note. I better make a note after the session ends, then I can do it so I don't forget. So that's sort of going on, a monkey mind, jumping from one to another, never ever able to stay doing nothing. And that is actually, we think we are clever. So we are thinking and doing all the time. We think we are clever and we can finish our job. What happens? You're adding more stress in you. You're adding more troubles in you. And you even can't concentrate. Like here, what I am saying, you will be listening half and you will be thinking of half something. If I ask you, have you listened what I have said? Yeah, I was listening, but I think I can't it. I forgot what you were saying, like that. So it's mumbling and jumbling business starts because we are not paying attention to what is being said in the moment here and now. Yeah, undivided attention is not paid, and with that we are kind of a half full glass. Yeah, so that we need to remember that meditation is training our mind to calm and also to sharp. Yeah, sharpening it to see things as they truly are. And sometimes people also think, normally ask me a question saying that, oh, Ajahn, how many years you've been practicing meditation? And how long does it take? For me, I've been practicing meditation for over 20 years. Yeah. And same thing, it doesn't take time too. Yeah. It's only the matter of how much you're practicing and how you understand. It's not like that you have to be a monk, you have to be a nun and stay in the monastery and get an insight of this mindfulness meditation. No, you don't have to. But if you want to, yeah, we are welcome. We have a space here. We need a candidate for that. Gary, you ready? Yeah, so it's it doesn't take time to learn meditation. Yeah, the practice of a mindfulness meditation does not take time. What it takes is your attention. What it takes your intention to pay attention to what you are doing here and now. That's all. Does it take time? We can't judge by the time. We can't calculate that, okay, after I have been doing meditation for this many hours, I am a super cool guy. No, not that like that. Sometimes people maybe are practicing many years, but they haven't paid good attention to it and practiced properly. They can't go ahead nowhere. They will be having piles of information in their heads and getting nowhere. So that's the second thing we have to remember. No time. We don't need a time schedule. But if you want to develop, if you want to go into the deeper insight of your own self, understanding your own mind and body, then practice regularly. Otherwise, you will not get it. Okay? And then again, does it complicated mindfulness meditation? Do you think it is complicated? Mindfulness meditation, practice of meditation, is it complicated? It's a very simple. Yeah, very, very simple. Only difficult it becomes when you try to make different, complicated. We human beings, when we grow up, we like to be complicated. We like to make things complicated so that other people, when they come and say, oh, this is so complicated, and we feel that we are better than somebody else. Whereas practice of a meditation is simple. What you have to do, sit and watch your breath. Isn't that simple? Wonderful, isn't it? Watch your breath. Incoming breath, outgoing breath. That's all. We don't need to complicate. Oh, long breath, short breath, uh, follow breath, make a long like that. No, we don't have to. We don't have to complicate it. And again, after meditating for 1 hour, will I be success? Or will I be a failure? No, there is no failure, there is no success in the practice of a meditation. We are learning to be. We are not looking for something out of it. Yeah? We are learning to be here and now with the body and mind. What else do we need? This is the wonderful thing that we have. Rest of other things we have accumulated along the way. And then eventually we have to leave them aside. Yeah? All what we have is ourselves, the body and the mind. That's all. And also, one we have to think, remember, practice of a mindfulness meditation, never take it simply just for the relaxation technique. It is not just for the relaxation technique. It does, but it is not just that. So do not condition yourself just for the relaxation. Condition is always not good. We are practicing it to know ourselves, our body and our mind. And then practice of a meditation is not about stop thinking. Yeah? Do you think you can stop thinking? Even meditating, I get every single day, every single sessions after meditation when I ask anyone has got any question, Ajahn, when I'm paying attention to the breath, why am I thinking too much? Why I can't pay attention to the breath? Why am I thinking so much? So it is not about stopping thinking. It is not about prevent from thinking. It is simply having a right attitude towards the thinking mind. Okay, having a right attitude with a thinking mind. And then it is a way to developing positive thoughts. Yeah? And seeing, as I gave you, I think last session, gave you a glass half empty and half full glass. Which one you want to look at it? Half full or half empty? What is the reality? If you say half full, somebody will say, no, it's half empty. If somebody say, oh, it's half empty, or some people will say, oh, it's a half full. What is the reality? The reality is a glass has water in it, not a lot, but it's still a water. Yeah? That's the reality. But if you are complaining, or if you are going to argument about half full or half empty, never ends. Never ends. And now, practice of a meditation is basically seeing things as they truly are. That is, they're seeing this half empty glass from our view. It's there is a water, but not full. Yeah? Is there any question with that? No one can question it. The reality is that. Yeah? But because we want to make a complicated things, right? And with that, what happens? We have a head. Our brain is like, our mind is like a full of stuffs. We have a full of stuffs going on, and then we can't be mindful. And this is my classical example that I normally use to say. Which word you would like to have? Mindful or mindful? If you have a mind full of stuffs, then you have a full of garbage. You cannot have happy sessions, happy moments. You cannot enjoy. Yeah? And if you're mindful, what happens? Everything is alive, enjoying everything. Like even when you go for a walk, what happens? You do not enjoy the weather, you do not enjoy the birds are singing, you do not enjoy this tree, you do not see the colors, you do not see the beauty. Now it's springtime. Have you ever noticed there is snow bulbs coming now? Snowdrops already there. How beautiful. But if your mind is full of stuffs, what happens? You will see nothing. Your mind is, although you left the house, your mind is on your desk, thinking of these are the things I have to do. These are the things I am responsible for. Why I am here. I'm not supposed to be here. I should be on a desk and working it out. Stories after stories. And deep down, our heart is saying, Ajahn, you shouldn't be thinking. You should be mindful, aware of the birds singing, aware of the wind, aware of the trees, what's going on here and now. But what happens? Our mind is always thinking over the desk. How can we get happiness? How can we have a wonderful time? So, practice of meditation is to be here and now in the moment, enjoying enjoying everything what you are having it. And that is the real mindfulness. So you have an intention to be here and you are paying full attention to what you are doing, what you are hearing, what you are performing. And then you have a right attitude. And this right attitude is important. Right attitude here is you are not making it complicated. Your seeing is seeing. Do not complain that why this flower is red, why this bird is singing. I don't like it. And I wish we can have a green leaf soon. No, do not complain. Do not make it complicated. Just be there, seeing as seeing. Yeah? So that's why the modern translation of mindfulness meditation or mindfulness is given what's called remembering to pay attention to the present moment, a present moment experience with an open and with an open and accepting attitude. Yeah? So with that, then we will be super cool and we will be happy and we will be relaxing and enjoying this moment without any troubles. And whatever comes, it's okay, no problem. Come and go. Like I said, when you like you are learning kung fu, kung fu fight. You become a kung fu panda. Whatever comes, okay, just swinging around and not engaging and not taking on board. You just swings along with the wind. I call it a wind with the dance with the wind. Do not resist with it. And with that, what happened? Happy, wonderful. Yeah. So that is the meditation. That's why practice of a meditation is to be here and now. And as David normally quotes, saying, no big deal. Whatever will be, will be. Que sera, sera. Okay? So with that, let's practice. Okay? Let's practice. Let me grab a gong. Let's practice meditation. So sit in comfortable position and get your position up properly, comfortable. And as you hear the gong, then I will guide you. Okay. So sit in a comfortable position. Okay. And gently close your eyes and be trustworthy to yourself. Comfortably leaving all your responsibilities and duties aside and just be here, having a present moment awareness, experiencing what's going on here. So body is sitting comfortably. Leave all your responsibilities aside and relax. And do not hold any parts of your body. Let your chairs or a cushion holds you. And embracing your body, which is sitting here. Feel the entire body. Now this time, not by your head, by your heart. Feeling from your heart, not by your head. When we think, that is not the right one. When we think, we conceptualize. But when the heart feels, it's the reality. So feel entire body. And relax. And if there are any tensions around, any discomforts, just let it be. Relax. So communicating with the body, listening to the body, what it is saying, where it is talking, how are you feeling? Or mentally you can say, I love you, my body. You are a good friend, I love you. Yeah? And now you see how difficult to even to see our own body, to embrace our own body. Mind just wanders, goes here and there, wanders, thinking this and thinking that, restless. Mind becomes so restless. So simply observing this body as it is sitting here and now helps to minimize the mental activity. And as it calms down, we see how vulnerable our mind is. always thinking, always engaging, and often the thinking or engagement and in negative thoughts, not in a positive one. Now bring that attention to the breath. As you observe the entire body, you will automatically realize that there is a breath coming in and going out. You do not have to locate where it is in this moment. Simply observe that I am breathing in and breathing out. The entire body is breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you're watching and observing, breathing in and breathing out, what happens in your body? What form of sensations that you can observe? And how are you experiencing it? Are you trying to control it? Or are you trying to make different? Or simply be there as it is, like a simile that I normally quote. Like you're sitting at the bank of the river and watching the river flow. Do not interfere with the water flow. So do not interfere with any processes that is taking place. Consciously making a conscious note, breathing in and breathing out. And this paying attention to the breath is taming our mind, taming our wild horse or a monkey, to be still, to be calm. Without the stillness of mind, it's very difficult or impossible to understand things as they truly are. But once we have got the tranquil, controlled mind, then we can channel it through for our own purposes, like the electricity created by the concentration of the water and channeled through the narrow doors and created this current, the electricity. So breathing in and breathing out. As you quieten yourself, mind begins to realize more and more whatever arises, observing it, acknowledging it, and noting back to the moment. Breathing in and breathing out. And see that how far you can keep yourself silent, still, concentrated, and mindful. During this time, if you're having any other thoughts arises, don't worry. You're not just the one. Everyone will have it, or when everyone has gone through it. Just notice and just come back. So, and now as you hear the gong, you can open your eyes and come out from meditation. Okay, so thank you. Now this is your turn. My turn is to listen. Anyone has got anything to share or any questions? You're most welcome to ask. Okay? So it's your turn to ask. Okay, Karina?
Me?
Hi.
Karina. Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, Karina raised the hand. Yeah.
Hello. So I've been actually ruminating in something lately, and it comes a bit along with what David said about living into the wild, and what you Jan said about oh, I have to make a note before I start meditating, otherwise I will forget. So it's about so I'm not sure if it makes sense, but we are like living mindful or being mindful, we have to be present at the moment, right? So how does that improve in our memory to try to remember something? You know what I mean, Ajahn? Like, for example, we are living into the wild. We don't need like to access the bank account or anything like that. But so it's not an essential thing, but it's actually one of these things like, oh, I cannot remember the password. I have to make a note of it and I have to look at it all the time. For example, every time I want to access that. So maybe it's not an important thing. It's not relevant. So our mind is selective and doesn't matter. But this is just like an example. So how does the how does the mindfulness contribute to our memory, to keep our memory, to remember things when we need them?
So mindfulness meditation helps you to get more good memories, because when you have to memorize it, you will be memorizing only what you needed, and then you have a full intention on it, and with that you will get more mindfulness on it. And again, one thing you have to remember, things that we do repeatedly we will remember, and things that we do not do it once in a while, then it will forgotten. Like we used to have a tails and now we didn't need it, so we don't have a tails.
Yes.
Yeah, so but it will generate more memories, okay, but in the meantime it will not memorize things that is not important. But in order to remember for a long term, there are things to be followed. Number one, you have to make sure that the things that you are going to remember, is for the good purpose and good reason, and you are in it, and you need to be truthful. Okay, you need to have a truthful in it, and with that truthfulness, not only that, you have to remember, you have to do it again and again, every of now and then, and with that, that will remain for a long time. But here doesn't mean after you meditate, memories will wiped out. No, memories will become more bigger. It's like you will get a memory card, more deeper memory cards, and a bigger memory cards. That's why we will be able to remember all subconsciously saved stories that will come as your meditation begins, as your meditation become deeper and deeper. So it will just develops to memorize from the past, and also ability to remember things what you have to do. Like that. So Carmina wanted to say, unmute yourself and.
Yeah, so I was similar thinking like what Karina was thinking, but
Okay.
during the meditation,
Uh-huh.
you triggered some thoughts for me because you mentioned the river. And so although I was getting zoned out, once you said the river, I got zoned out to yesterday was a beautiful, it's like a summer's day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go to get bare essentials of food in Asda. And as we got to the banks of the River Dee, where the train near Duthie Park, where the train line is, the arches that go into the water had swollen. And then as you went further down, where it might have been somebody's favorite bench, it was full of water. And where it would be somebody's favorite tree to sit at, that was all in water, and a little house was in water. And I couldn't get back to the meditation because I was following this river from yesterday. And then I got back into it. And then when you said about the heart, start concentrating the heart, my heart felt like it was going. And I thought, I have to touch it. Is it really happening? And then I kept thinking, I mustn't take my heart for granted because it pumps 24/7. But when I'm going about the day, I don't listen to it pumping 24/7. I thought to myself, I must give gratitude to this feeling that I can feel, and thanks to you. Thank you, Hassan.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Anyone wants to share or questions? No? Okay, David.
Yes, Jean, just coming back to Karina's point, I think another way of reflecting on it is that as we practice, we learn to let go of the unhelpful thoughts. So whether that be unhelpful memories, unhelpful reflections, and we tend to be left with the helpful thoughts and the helpful memories. And by that, I mean helpful not just to ourselves, but to others. And that might be family, it might be friends, whatever experiences we've had. And so my experience has been over the years that I experience now far more helpful thoughts, far more helpful memories than probably at any time in my life, because those thoughts aren't complicated by the unhelpful stuff. And my wife Lena sometimes reminds me of the importance of simplicity, and the example I've started to use is I always used to go through a woodland or forest wanting to name the trees, what types of trees they were, where they were from, how big they can grow to, who brought them to this country and where from, all these things, just like a botanist, because I was always interested in those things. But I'm reminded a tree does not know it's an oak tree. A Pacific Coast pine doesn't know it's a Pacific Coast pine. Each tree has a purpose, but we have complicated things for our own benefit by giving them an identity, not just in Latin, but in every language of the world as well. And so I'm reminded when I'm walking in a forest now to just enjoy the trees, not want to give a label to them and know everything about them. If we enjoy the tree, we enjoy the tree.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this thing about thoughts and remembering as we practice meditation, it's the helpful stuff that stays with us.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you want to be a botanist, the unhelpful stuff we can let go.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you. Anyone has got anything? Must have something. Maybe you cannot pay attention to the breath, or when you are paying attention to the breath, all sorts of the stories just popping in. Can't concentrate, or the stories just dropping on. Am I the alone like this, or Achan does have like this? Huh? It's a natural things to happen, regardless of what. All what we need is to remember. Yes, Kathleen?
I think I'd like to just share that with doing my meditation or my mindfulness, what I have found the most helpful thing is that I suppose I calmed the monkey mind that David speaks about, and I find that things in the past I can leave in the past. The unhelpful thoughts I had, I can leave them behind and then be in the moment and concentrate on what's happening now and not have all the thoughts that maybe brought me down before, that made me worry and anxious and even feel bad about things that had happened because they're past and I can't change them. And I found that really helpful, that I can be here now, I can just be. And the future is there, and I don't have to think too much about that either, because what matters is now. That's what it helped me to do. And if I miss session of my mindfulness or my meditation, it's very easy for my mind to revert to the way it was, even just with a day, I start to get a busier mind. And I realise that I must get back to my practice because it makes such a difference.
Yeah.
So I just want to share that. That's my experience, and it has helped me so much.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so it is the way, actually. Yeah, that is the one. Normally, we are living in a moment here, but we always think about the past and worry about the future. We think about the guilt and the regrets, what we have done. I wish I couldn't have done that one. I wish I have done in this way. Guilt and regrets, and worrying that what if is happening again? What if it's not going to happen again? It's like Karina had experienced a few months ago about going to Glasgow for her treatment, and it was all over the world. What if, what if, what if? And eventually she realized, oh, it's just that is. Yeah, so like that. So this is how it works. This is learning to be in the moment. And as I said, this is the only moment, such a wonderful moment that we can enjoy. We cannot enjoy the past, and we can't wait and see that what is going to happen and we will enjoy next. This is the moment that we can enjoy. And although we have a good sunshine yesterday and today, and I am stuck in this room like this. but enjoying the moment that you have, whatever you are doing, being mindful and enjoying. And that is the mindfulness. And that is the mindfulness called sati, awareness in the moment here and now. Remembering to collect all the information that is in front of you. Yeah? It's called at front. Having a mindfulness at front. So recollect is remembering all the information that's around you. And not only remembering, you have to recollect. Recollect that, what's going on. Okay? And then reminding yourself the moment. Okay. Reminding, okay, be here completely. Okay? And then what happens? We are much happier. This is the moment that we have. Past we have already left. Future we do not know whether it's coming or not. This is the perfect moment that we have. And then why are we wasting about worrying things the past? Thinking about the past and what's going to happen, what is going to be in the future. Yeah. So this is the perfect moment that we have. That's why when we look at the Buddha's teachings, we found saying that our death can happen when you breathe in, doesn't come out. And when you breathe out, doesn't go in. It's like, oh, I'm not going in. I don't want to have this disgusting body, and you are dead. Or after the breath goes in and say, oh, I don't want to go out. It's so warm inside. Then again, we are dead. So our life is so short, actually. Every moment, we do not know what's going to happen in the future. All the past that we have is a history, and we have learned the lessons. Something is good, something is bad, but we have learned the lesson. Why we are thinking about it. You cannot go and undo that. Not like in a computer, after you have typed for something and you can undo. Not like that. The past, it's already gone. And the future yet to come. Why worry? So this is the perfect moment that we have. And this moment we have to enjoy, fully. Use your all the senses and feel happy. Enjoy your senses. Enjoy yourself in a mindful way. That is the mindfulness. So this is the only moment we have. We don't have in the future. We do not know how long we got. Like particularly this time of COVID-19, we are very aware. We always sealed ourselves, because we know there is a danger coming. So like we are putting a mask on. We are putting a mask and having a social distances. No, actually not a social distance. It's supposed to be a distance, not a social distance. And then simply to protect from invading or having this virus. Similarly, we have to mask our own mind. Put the mask in our mind and not letting all the bad memories or bad things or any negativities go inside your mind. Remember to mask yourself. Mask your mind. And that masking your mind is mindfulness. When you're mindful, wonderful. This is the perfect time. This is a wonderful, and you will live your life in your fullest. Right? Right? Anyone, anything else? No? Okay. Right. So let's practice that. We're going to practice again. Okay. This time, I want you to make a fist like this, but not tight, just a loose. Just very loose. And then observing this fist. Notice that each joints and how tight you are holding your fist. Are you holding it so tightly or loosely? So do not hold it very tight, just loosely. Just loosely. And then we are opening up these fingers one by one. So this finger first, okay? And I want you to notice and opening up very slowly, very mindfully, opening up. Noticing each joints and then noticing the cracking and also feeling where the resistance is there. Don't judge. Do not judge and do not investigate. Just explore. So slowly opening it up. And you can see some cracks there. And noticing the cracks, resistance, and slowly, do not push. Just let it open up. Remember, like a water, when a water flows, if there is a stone, it just covers like that. Do not force. There will be, cracks and then resistance, and then second one, similar way, opening slowly, very slowly. See that how are you forcing it, or you're mindful of the opening up. Now here we are educating our mind. So body is educating our mind. There's aches and pains. Don't judge. Similarly, next finger, slowly, very slowly, mindful. And noticing all the cracks and resistance. Is that because I am old? Or is that because something problem? That's why there is a crack? Or am I having a pain? Or should I get the oil man to push the oil in? D45 so that it can open it completely. See, slowly observing it, no investigation, gently. Similar, the last finger, similar way, opening it slowly. Noticing all the resistance, the cracks and groans. And how are you using your energy? Yeah. And what about making a fist? Slowly making a fist again. All the fingers are coming back. You see the cracks and joints are moving and resistance there. Probably we need a D45 so that we can move properly. Yeah. See how closely you're mindful of your physical body as you're making a fist. Tensions all around. Okay? And leave, once you have made the fist, leave slowly on your lap, the two hands on your laps, as in a meditation posture. Okay? Put your hands on your laps and close your eyes. Okay? And once you close your eyes, feel the sensations in your hand. Whatever sensations are there, the softness, the hardness, lightness. Checking the tensions in your shoulders. If there is a tension, then release and let this hand rest completely. And observing all the sensation and let it be. Do not move the fingers, just as it is, and watching, observing. And as you watch it, what happens with the breath? Are you engaging in the breathing practice? Are you making it longer or shorter? Or just it is? Sensing the entire body breathing, feeling it. What about your heart? Observing the heartbeat, feeling the heartbeat. Every heartbeat takes place in the present moment, not in a past, not in a future. It's here. And this is our life. And spend time watching the incoming breath and outgoing breath, the entire body breathing, and feeling the heart. Settling down, grounding yourself. As you feel, you have a clear mind. You have a concentrated mind. You have a concentrated mind. And spend time observing it. And whatever is happening, your thoughts, your emotions arises, knowing it, seeing it, noticing, no defining, just seeing, knowing, seeing. And observe entire body, feeling, sensing. And when we are practicing a loving kindness meditation to finished, observing the entire body, feel the beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, physically smiling will connect you. So smile and feel the connection with your heart, with a pure, clear mind. And as you feel the beating heart, as you feel the connection with yourself, generating loving kindness and compassion, loving kindness and compassion to yourself. Allowing yourself to be happy. Allowing yourself to be at peace. Allowing yourself to be free from suffering. Mentally telling to yourself, may I be happy and peace. Not just a word, true feeling. May I be happy and peace. May I be safe and protected. May I be filled with a contentment. May I be free from suffering. May I be well and happy. Feeling from your bottom of heart to yourself. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, people around you, in the house, in the community, in the city, in the country, on earth, in the universe. Whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings, may no harm come to them. May no problem come to them. May they always meet with success. May they have a patience, courage, understanding. May they be liberated. Generating real friendship and compassion towards all sentient beings. Appreciating and a joy of their success. May they be free from suffering, free from hurtfulness, hatred, calamities. May they be liberated. Bring your attention back to your hands, aware of your hands, and to your body, feeling the entire body. And to your eyes, and as you hear the gong slowly coming out from meditation. Okay, so thank you everyone. So this is the end of today's session. Would like to thank you all, and just would like to give you information that every evening there is a reflection talks and guided meditation. Meanwhile, Wednesday morning there is a Facebook support group meditation session with David, and also there is a course that you can join, which David is running. This first course, another 3 days to go to complete, and after that will be another second Zoom mindfulness course coming up. If you are interested, then join in. Rest others are like that. All I would like to say is enjoy and be mindful. So meanwhile, anything anybody has got to share or ask, you can share or say anything before we finished. Few minutes here, few minutes left. No? Okay, that means I am liberated.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you very much.
Francis, would you like to share something?
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
It was lovely and very restful. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
So thank you. So in that case, I will give you a blessings in our traditional way to finish off then, okay? Apivatana silesa nichang vata pachayino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvanno sukhang phalang. May you be well and happy. Stay safe and take care. See you next month. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
David.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, David.
Bye.